Hey guys, Ryan7 again. This time with a review of the 100 scale Master Grade Gym Sniper 2 from the 0080 OVA series. When it comes to looks, the Master Grade Gym Sniper 2 is a completely different beast than the High Grade Gym Sniper 2. Beginning with the colors, the blues of the Gym Sniper 2 in Master Grade are much more vibrant than those of the High Grade. And then also the proportions. My God, the proportions. The Master Grade is much more menacing looking, starting with the head, which is absolutely gorgeous and just so hunter-like, much more befitting of a mobile suit that's supposed to be a high-performance machine. The one thing that might have been slightly different in my opinion, the feet. The head, in my opinion, is kind of Katoki-esque, whereas the feet are quite not so. Now, one thing that really helps the Gym Sniper 2 with looking great straight out of the box is that the seam lines are very well hidden for the most part. Almost all of them are concealed with panel lining and other kinds of genius placement, except for this one right there. The problem is on the other side, it's on the exact same spot, so it's not even symmetrical, which was the least they could have done. Also, when you begin moving the feet around, it becomes even more visible. For stickers, we of course don't get a lot of them. We get one small one that goes onto the mono eye of the Gym Sniper 2. This one, that is when we collapse this, you could potentially put it on here if you want it to be slightly more vibrant, or, well, just leave it as the translucent green plastic that you get. This is a silver one that goes underneath the green of the sniper scope to make it stand out slightly more. We get two that go on either side of the sniper, and then finally one for the scope of the Bullpup Machine Gun. And of course, it wouldn't be a Master Grade without marking stickers. First, we get the rub transfer stickers, rub transfer decals, and then finally we get the standard stickers. A bit of everything, some warning stickers, Federation symbols, and if you really want to, you could assign your Gym Sniper 2 to the Grey Phantom. We all know you do not want to do that. Under the hood, we of course get a fully featured inner frame. Now, this inner frame is a combination of the older 2.0 frame with parts to make it specific for the Gym Sniper 2. Is this a good or a bad thing? Well, the 2.0 frame was simply amazing in its time and still holds up very well today. On top of that, it's a very nicely detailed frame, as opposed to some of the newer frames like the 3.0. So it might actually be a good thing that they used the 2.0 instead of the 3.0. And let's immediately show off that 2.0 frame with the articulation. The head goes a little bit up, but a lot further down, thanks to an extra joint inside of the collar, which is of course very useful for aiming down the sniper scope. Talking about sniping, this thing of course also goes down and up again. Arms rotate around all the way, go up like that, and then even further all the way up like that. So the Gym Sniper 2 can do the final shooting pose of the Gundam and a lot more, out all the way like that. And just look at the amount of joints that are inside of there and the amount of crazy poses he can make with that arm, maybe even to its detriment. Then the arm will also rotate around all the way, bend the elbow at two joints with some nice separation going on right there. The hands, well, they bend a bit that way, but much further that way. As you can probably tell, these are not the 2.0 hands. More about those in a second. The waist, forwards really nicely, backwards also really nicely, rotates around again, very good. Rotates around all the way, just like that. Then when we turn him around, one thing that honestly surprised me the most is that these thruster pods also go up and down. Something that I wasn't really expecting. Back skirt is one solid slab. The front skirts, however, do go forward very nicely, allowing the legs to go all the way forward like that. Backwards, not quite as much, but sideways, absolutely nailed it. Then it will also rotate around, back like that, bent at the knee at 2 joints. Now there's no separation going on with the knees, but there are some really cool pistons, both on the upper leg and the lower leg. Talking about pistons, we get even more pistons on the feet. Unfortunately, these do kind of hinder the posability of the feet. Go upwards, downwards, like forwards and backwards a little bit. Then side to side, also only a little bit, because those pistons, side to side like that on 2 joints, not too bad. And then the toe is also on a joint. In fact, not just 1, but 2 toe joints. Overall, the articulation for this thing more than does its job. Pretty much any pose you can think of, you'll be able to pull off. Sure, the feet could have been a little bit better, but it's give and take. The articulation is slightly less, and we get slightly more detail. On to accessories, and let's start off with the one thing that I didn't quite enjoy about this model kit. The hands. As I said before, these are not the 2.0 hands, and for a model kit that uses the 2.0 inner frame for most of its inner frame, that definitely seems like a baffling decision. It seems that Bandai even agreed with this because, as they announced, with the P Bandai White Dingo version, they are giving us the 2.0 hands. Thanks for that. Anyways, back to these hands, we get a movable thumb, which is on a ball joint here, and a hinge on this little piece, so the thumb is very nicely articulated. Other than that, you click fingers in there. So for parts to put in there, we get a pair of closed fists, a pair of open palm hands to say, "Whoa, camphor! Please don't blow me up." 2 beam saber holding hands, and man, do they do their job great. The only thing is that it seems like, to me at least, that it's holding the beam sabers in kind of an awkward way. It's like not completely holding on to them. It's like leisurely, like they're leisurely in the fingers, like not a complete grip. I guess it's the same pilot that got one-shotted by the camphor. A right and left trigger finger hand that are unfortunately not compatible with any of the weapons from this set. However, you could use them for auto model kits with this hand, or if you do like me and you cut out the peg that's inside of there, you could also fit standard Master Grade weapons inside of those hands. So even though the manual tells you that you can throw these away, by all means do not. And then finally, a single right trigger finger hand for holding on to the sniper rifle, or if you're less lucky, the machine gun. Now, the sniper rifle, let's bring that down. The one really cool feature is that it actually has a functional bipod. Now, it doesn't open or close, but you can drop it down and even swivels from left to right. Now, depending on the terrain, might be useful, and it's just overall really nicely detailed. 2 tones for colors, super cool. It is at kind of this weird angle, however. Rather than being more anime accurate, they decided to go for something a bit more useful, I guess. And then here he is with the Bullpup Machine Gun. Even though it might only be a secondary weapon in case your carrier kind of ran out of sniper rifles for your sniper mobile suit, it is nonetheless a very cool weapon. Also, the Gym Sniper 2 is capable of more than just sniping. And with a machine gun as badass as this, I can see why. Now, another cool thing about this machine gun is this clip here is removable, and when we move on to the shield, we will have 2 more ammo clips in order to pump the camphor full of holes, if we can get to it. We'll work on that. Now, this shield, on the other hand, is probably one of the best shields I've ever seen on any model. It's just so multifunctional. It's got 2 extra ammo packs for the machine gun. It's got a kickstand for the sniper rifle, and normally it stays up right just fine, like that. And then, just in case your shield didn't have enough stuff on it already, when we turn around the Gym Sniper 2, you can actually remove the beam saber holder that's on the back and store it on the shield. There's just so much stuff going on with this shield that even the Gym Sniper 2 itself can't quite keep it up. Yeah, there's just so much going on with the shield, and like I said with the articulation, there are so many intricate small movements inside of that shoulder that the shield is just slightly, well, the shield fully equipped is just slightly too much for those very delicate shoulders. So whether or not the pose with the shield is going to work out or not depends on how intricate the pose is and how much of the super glue trick you're willing to do with the shoulders. Also, of course, the shield can be mounted on both arms, and you can either have it on like this, or when you turn it around, click it off and click it back on like that. You can also have it on that side. And for even more posing fun, we also get a connector for an action base number 1. Then the final bits and pieces that we're getting are leftover parts from the 2.0 frame that are not used with the Gym Sniper 2. So hey, you can do something with them. As always, the inevitable question is, do you want to buy this? Overall, yes. Now, is it the perfect master grade? No. Is it a master grade where the positives absolutely outweigh the negatives? Totally. The Gym Sniper 2 is without a doubt the best gym master grade out there. Even though that still might not be saying a whole lot, as the only real competition the Gym Sniper 2, as far as regular releases is concerned, has to compete with is ye olde Gym, which is far from a badass looking mobile suit. The Gym Sniper 2, on the other hand, is a hunter through and through. Even the manual points out that the Gym Sniper 2 is on paper on par with the RX-78-2 Gundam, and this master grade has that attitude. It just looks phenomenal. So, some slight irks with the articulation, some slight irks with the hands, I am more than willing to forgive for this kit. And for 3,800 yen, with all the stuff we're getting, you're also getting a great deal. Like, just that shield. Just such an amazing shield. And I really love that they once again have these little extra gimmicks that are just so cool to have. You have the kickstand in the shield, the ability to attach the beam sabers to the shield. For absolutely, well, no reason should they have done it, but they did it, which is awesome. And I love those little extra touches. I highly recommend the Gym Sniper 2 as a gym enthusiast. However, one thing I might also be able to recommend in the future is that you get some extra hands with this thing. Because of the way the hands are, I went ahead and ordered myself the 1/100 scale mechanical hands from Hobby Base, in the hopes that they are, well, that they function similar to the 2.0 hands and give this Gym Sniper 2 the hands that they deserve. For size comparisons, first of all, here's next to the Gym Quell and the Gym Kai, which previously was one of my favorite master grade gyms out there, along with, of course, the Power Gym. Now, the funny thing is that with both the Gym Quell and the Gym Kai, the one problem I had about them was the feet, and the way they looked, kind of similar to one of the issues I have with the Gym Sniper 2. It seems to be kind of a running thing with Master Grade Gyms. Or my tastes. And because the Gym Sniper is basically a 2.0 model kit, here is next to some other 2.0 model kits, Johnny Ryden's High Mobility Zaku R2 and the Goof A-Type. As you can see, Gym Sniper 2 is the same size as the Zaku, but is slightly smaller than the Goof. And well, that's all for this review, and see you all next time!